Hello my dear students and welcome to today's class. As you all can see on your screen, the topic is measurement and motion. So children, let's start the chapter. What all points you are going to cover in this lesson is measurement, measurement of length and what is motion. So let's start the chapter. Okay. See, what is transportation? First of all, you should know what is transportation. Transportation is movement of an object from one place to another. Okay. Now, let's start the chapter. Transportation is movement of an object from one place to another. Human transports various objects from one place to another as per their requirement. Earlier, people used to walk and carry their objects with them. Then with the time, bullock carts and boats were developed to travel from one place to another. See children, earlier the man used to travel on foot, but with the passage of time, as things kept on changing, the means of transport also started changing. Okay, first he used to travel either on the horseback or on foot, but with the passage of time, with the invention of the things have changed a lot. Okay, he started traveling on bullock carts, bicycles, then boats, and after that he started traveling by trains and aeroplanes also, which are the latest means of transportation. Okay, so then wheel was invented, which made possible the manufacture of cars, scooters and all vehicles that we use today. Another milestone was added to the transportation with the invention of aeroplane, which made travel by air possible. Okay, it was not possible to travel in air earlier, but with the invention of aeroplane and helicopters, it was possible to travel in the air also. Okay, so when we travel from one place to another, we cover some distance. Distance can be defined as the length between 2 points. So children, when we started traveling, and what happened while traveling, we covered some distance. So what is distance? Suppose I started from traveling from A point to B point. So the distance is the length covered. Okay, how much far I have covered from point A to B is known as distance. Okay, so distance can be defined as the length between 2 points. Now moving to the next page, measurement. Okay, what is measurement? Measurement is the process of finding the length, size or quantity of an object. The measurement of a substance is done with respect to a standard physical unit. A physical quantity is measured with respect to a fixed quantity. This fixed quantity is called a unit. It can also be said that a unit is used as a standard for measurement. In ancient times, people used to measure length with their hands. See children, earlier when we were not so much advanced, what we were using, different means of measurement were there. We were using hand span. This was a hand span, this was a cubit. Okay, and like this, if I say from this hand to this hand, it was a fathom. Okay, so but this was not acceptable because every person had different length and size. Okay, my hand span is this much. If I ask some other child, maybe the hand span differ. Okay, that made it very difficult. Okay, so the units that were designed to different lengths of hands are span, cubit and fathom. Other measurement units based on different body parts are foot, pace and yard. Since the body parts were different in size for different people, it was difficult to maintain a standard. With time, people realized that standard units which will not change from person to person is required. Measurement is the comparison of the unknown quantity with some fixed quantity of the same kind. Okay, so now moving to the next, standard units of measurement. So standard units are those units which do not vary from person to person and have a fixed quantity. Okay, what are standard units? Which do not differ from one person to another, and moreover they had a fixed quantity. When these units were formalized, it was realized that people in different countries might use different set of standard units, and thus again the problem of improper measurement came up. To solve this discrepancy, an international system of units was devised. Such units are called SI units, okay, which are taken all over the world as same. Those are known as standard units, okay, SI units. The SI units were adopted worldwide in 1960, and since then all countries and all people around the globe use them. So these are the different, you can see the table is there, different SI units, and the symbols have been mentioned. Length is measured in meter, mass in kilogram, time in seconds, electric current in ampere, temperature in Kelvin, amount of substance in mole, and luminous intensity in candela. And these are all the symbols of these. You can just go through them, okay. So now measurement of length. Length is the distance of something from one end to other. The standard units for measurement of length is meter. Instrument used for measuring lengths are measuring scale, measuring tape, and a measuring rod. So children, suppose these 2 points are there, okay, and I want to measure. What will I do? I will mark these two and draw a line, okay, and with the help of either with the measuring scale or measuring tape or a meter rod, I will measure the length of this line, okay. So now moving to the next one, okay. When we measure length using a ruler or a measuring scale, we should take care of the following points. Whenever you are measuring anything with a measuring tape or a ruler, you should take into account the following points. First, the ruler should be kept along the length of the object. The edges of the ruler should not be broken, okay. In case they are broken, you will not be able to find the exact length of the thing, okay. Now a ruler is used when the object is measured, it's straight in length, and if the object is to be measured is not straight and is neither curved or wavy, then we use a measuring tape. For measuring lengths of cloths, or a meter rod is used. In case the thing which you have to measure is straight, what do you use? You use a ruler. But in case it is not straight, it is wavy, it is zigzag, what do we use? We used a measuring for curved lines. As I am telling you, in case the thing is zigzag, okay, it is zigzag like this. What you are going to take? You are going to take a thread, okay, and you are going to place the thread on this line, okay, and after that take that thread again and put on the measuring scale, okay, then you will be able to find the length of this zigzag line, okay. For measuring the length of a curved line, a thread or a string is used. The string is placed along the curved line. Both ends of the curved lines are marked on the string. This marked string is then placed along a ruler. The length between the marked points gives the length of the curved line, okay. Now moving to the next one. Measuring of a curved line with a divider, okay. Place the paper on which the curved line is drawn. Open the legs of the divider, say 10 mm or any other convenient distance. Place one leg of the divider at the starting end of the curved line and the other on the curved line. Move the divider from one point to the next along the curved line till it is entire length. If the portion of the line at the end is less than the gap between the legs of divider, then measure this separately. Count the number of times dividers move to measure the line. See, here it is given, okay, length of curved line is equal to number of times divider is moved into distance between the legs of the divider plus length of the remaining portion, okay. That is the way you are going to find the length of a curved line using a divider, okay. Now moving to the next one. This is an activity again in which you have to measure the length of a knitting needle. Knitting needle, you know, when your mama makes a stretcher and all, she uses this knitting needle, okay. How do you find that? It's very simple, you can just go through it. Now let's move to the next topic, that is motion. An object always moves with respect to other objects in its surrounding. For example, when we walk in a garden, the plants, trees, benches all remain stationary. Thus, we are said to be in motion. When we say we are resting, it is also in respect to the other objects around us. An object is said to be in motion when its position changes with the time with respect to other objects. Okay, the motion is when anything is moving with respect to its surrounding. Okay, so now moving to the next one. Okay, types of motion. Different types of motion are there. Motion can be of different types. Some important types of motion are translatory motion, rotational motion, periodic motion and non-periodic motion. First we will talk about translatory motion. In translatory motion, all parts of an object move the same distance in the given time. For example, a man walking on the footpath, a truck moving on the road, a bird flying in the sky, etc. Translatory motion is of two types, rectilinear and curvilinear motion. In rectilinear motion, the objects move in a straight line. Okay, whenever the object is moving in a rectilinear motion, it is traveling straight. Okay, the objects move in a straight line, whereas in curvilinear motion, the objects move along the curved path. Okay, as the name suggests, curvilinear, it is moving in a curved path. Okay, now rotational motion. What is rotational motion now, children? When an object moves around a fixed axis, it is said to be a rotational motion. In such motion, all parts of the object move different distances in a given time. For example, spinning top, that is a lattu. Okay, when you rotate that is moving round and round. Okay, merry-go-round, windmill, etc. Different parts of an object which is under rotational movement cover different lengths of distance in a given interval of time. Okay, then we come to oscillatory or vibratory motion. Motion of a swing, motion of a stretched rubber band, motion of a string of guitar, etc. shows to and fro movement. To is coming back, okay, this way, to and fro. Okay, to and fro is this much. Shows to and fro motion along its mean position. The to and fro motion of a body along the same path is called the oscillatory motion. It is a kind of a periodic motion. Okay, now moving to the next one. Okay, we are going to start with periodic motion now. Okay, periodic motion happens when a motion repeats after a fixed interval of time. For example, the motion of a hand of a clock. When the long hand of a clock completes one turn in 60 seconds, it again starts another round and comes back to the straight starting point exactly after 60 seconds. Okay, in periodic motion, it repeats after a fixed interval of time. If I talk about non-periodic motion, a motion which does not repeat itself after a fixed interval of time is called a non-periodic motion. The example of periodic motion is the pendulum. When the clock of the pendulum goes, okay, that is a periodic motion. Or when you are on the swing, okay, that is a periodic motion. Okay, now there is one activity. Please go through it to identify the type of motion in various objects around us. Just go through it. Okay, now with this you finished the chapter. There are many points, let's revise, given over there. Kindly go through it. Okay, read the chapter many times so that whatever query you have, it can be solved by you. Okay, thank you and have a nice day.